Oh, oh god, we're naked. One moment. Oh, there we go. We have flesh again. Thank God. Well, I mean, you know, we have stuffed plush flesh. This is, again, this is our plushy form. We don't have, like, flesh. Don't confuse this as having flesh. This is, like, stuffed flesh. Alright, let's catch up on the chat. Queen GG first. Queen GG varies Tritos. We will be giving the Tritos in an hour. Let's see. Deadly also with some Tritos. Deadly GG 7 streak. Oop, ouch, owie, my bones. Gecko Gods. So I didn't realize Gecko Gods released. I don't know why, but I thought Oat was playing the demo. I thought it was still a demo. That's very funny that it released. I'm at this point right now where, like, even when games are on sale, it's hard to get games, like, just because I don't know when I'm going to play them. So I'm like, alright, we just keep adding games to the wish list, and then eventually we might get them. But I'll probably wait until such a time that I would play them to actually, like, get them on my own. Which might mean I pay more for a game, because, you know, I might be in the mood to play Gecko Gods, but it's not on, like, the same sale. Because I assume it's on an introductory sale, like the, you know, 10% off for the first week or whatever. But I know I'm not going to play Gecko Gods for a bit, so I'll have to wait. I'll also probably wait, because at least the demo for Gecko Gods, I know, needed, the demo for Gecko Gods needed, like, a bit of polish, so I don't know if they've, like, finished polishing it up. But part of me thinks that it's gonna be one of those games where there's gonna be some kind of big updates for a few months, so I might be fine with waiting for that game to be out for a while. Why does Steam say that Gecko Gods is similar to Hollow Knight and Celeste? Great question. I mean, it is a platformer, and it does feature bugs, and possibly a trans protagonist, unsure. So, you know. Queen, I posted a screenshot earlier. I posted a screenshot earlier because I was looking at, I was trying to look up a game, and was looking at a game called, what is it? I'm a wizard, but I dig, which is basically like a, kind of a clone, is not really the exact right word, but it's a clone of the digging a hole game or whatever. And Steam told me that game is similar to Blueprints. And I'm just like, what? I literally, like, my brain, I feel like short-circuited, because I'm just like, please, Steam, I'm gonna need you to take a moment and actually, I need you to level with me and tell me, in what way, shape, or form are you considering a game that has a very simplistic loop of dig, return your digging. Like the wizard digging game is like a mindless game. Like you dig a little bit more until you're out of stamina, then you turn in what you got, and then you repeat. You just do that over and over again. That's all you do. It is not, it's like digging in Minecraft. Like if you don't have anything to do with your stuff, you just dig for digging's sake. Like there's not a thing, and that's okay. It's kind of fun mindlessness. I'm contemplating getting that game when it does come out because I think it'd be a fun after work game, like a Power Wash. In Steam's defense, it did also say similar to Power Wash, and I can see that. I don't understand how you say it's similar to Blueprints because there is nothing about that gameplay that is like Blueprints. Anyway, Minish, hello. I hope you're doing well. Vampire Crawlers, Wallet in Shambles, yeah. I know lots of things are on sale, but yeah, probably. I think I'm just gonna stick to not. I'm torn. So historically, when indie games come out, I do like to get them. Like, I'm pretty sure Gecko Gods is probably like small indie studio. I mean, it would be like a thing that I would want to do to get it and play it. Wow. Blueprints can be mindless. This is kind of true, I suppose. I'm really excited to get back to Blueprints. I almost decided to do big hops tonight instead of more Archie checks. Because I am technically, like, still pretty much out of stuff to do in my games. Technically, Hollow Knight has some stuff to do in it, but it's, like, just a little bit of cleanup checks. The reason I decided to resume working on Etty's Witness, though, is because it occurs to me. So technically, I'm not done with Glover. We're actually only like a quarter of the way into Glover, but Glover's at a hard BK right now. So I don't actually know what I need to hint for progression in Glover. And it occurred to me that maybe what I should be doing is continuing the Witness in case it needs to send out anything that would help Glover. So, and like, I like working on Witness puzzles, so, the dev for Gecko Gods might be a single person. See, I like supporting that. I like supporting indie game releases, especially when, I don't think they're like necessarily widely known. I don't know how widely known Gecko Gods was. But the first week of a game releasing is so important, like on Steam. Like, again, I've said this many times, but for those that don't know, your first 7 days of your game being out on Steam is like really, really, really important. Steam will rank your game and show your game in like searches and all kinds of things based on how it does in the first week. Like, this is also why like so many things say wishlist our game, because like Steam will rank things based on the number of wish lists it has and then like show that to people and recommend things to people. If a game like does really well in the first like 4 or 5 days, Steam just really shows that game off to everyone. So I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get connected. We'll also be moving over to the Async or Swim chat in a moment. Alright. I'm actually gonna have to wait to switch channels, so Courtney had to step out for a moment, but she has Beaver's stream open, and I don't want to hop into the VC and have 2 copies of all the audio going, so I'm gonna... So we'll start for now, and then when Courtney's back, we'll hop up. Toronto! Hey, Toronto. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I wonder if it'll be a good game. It'll be interesting. Ooh. Ooh.
I don't want to play this game. I don't know what I want to play now.
Play Noita.
I don't
Hey, Dwarf.
own Noita.
I was
and
just
I was
about
told...
to be like, hey, I wonder when Dwarf is going to get on the call. And look at that. There he is. Hey, Dwarf.
I was told that Noita is not a game that I would enjoy because it's not very controller friendly.
This is
That is
true,
true.
and you probably won't
This is
enjoy
very
it. I mean, based on what I've seen you play, you probably wouldn't like it, but that's not the point.
Most people probably wouldn't enjoy Noita.
This is also true.
I enjoy watching you guys play Noita. Does that
Most
count?
people enjoy watching Noita be played.
Yeah, I would say Noita is a game that the vast majority of people, I think, like to watch, would not want to play.
Yeah, it's very fun to get to watch the gameplay of Noita without any of the consequences of like playing Noita.
Screw it. I'm gonna be done with this game. I'm gonna play something else.
Okay, so you want a game to play on controller. See, like, I know...
Something... It's understandable. I have a very, like, generically...
Well, like, I know you like a lot of combat-focused games, so I'm trying to think of, like...
Have you heard of the game Black Mesa? Can I sell you on the game Black Mesa?
I'm gonna humor you. I look it up on the Steam store.
Okay, so you don't know Black Mesa then?
Etty would be serious in recommending it.
Yeah, no, I thought that you were privy to the conversations we had the other day about it. So, like, I thought I was just, like, beating a dead horse.
I was not around.
Okay.
I was not around for those.
Black Mesa is what I brought to the most recent EG Essentials.
I see guns. I see bigger guns.
It has lots of guns.
Very positive ratings.
How about let me just send you my pitch, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. It's very minimum on spoilers. I'll have to find it. I don't actually.
I'm sad this boss that I thought actually did change north does not change north, and I'm very sad. You just fight it stagnantly. There's really no boss relative anything on this fight. I'm really sad about it. It's a fun fight. We call it soccer.
Okay,
Love their military cleanup crew. Oh, this sounds like the plot of. This sounds like a plot to a Warhammer book.
So okay. You need. I really do think that you would enjoy playing Black Mesa.
Fucking Revolve.
If that's your takeaway, hold on. I'm still trying to. For some reason, I can't get it to take the timestamp correctly. There we go.
Doesn't matter. It's already purchased.
Okay. Well.
And he's like,
okay.
Appreciate the work, damn it.
I want people to see my presentation, damn it. No.
Wait, Queen, did you miss the Beavers created a class? Beavers has a I know Etty's
like
talking
right-
about a presentation. Beavers has a presentation.
Like right around the 30-minute mark, which is where that should be linked to.
My
Wait, no,
credit
hold on.
card was.
It might be like a minute or two after that, but let's find it.
Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Back black one.
Fair, I assume you
Let's
don't care if
find
I
out.
put your stream up. If you do care, let me know, but I'm pretty sure you said before it was fine.
That picture.
Where's the picture?
It's this picture. This is the aforementioned picture that is the Genshin bird being attacked by raid members. So that way I can use. I need a boss reference. This is my boss reference.
I don't know how to interpret this image. Like I'm actually trying, and I don't. I think I need to take the course. Actually, I think it's a pay grade.
Okie dokie. No, I'm just kidding. Looking at ads in 5 minutes.
I do. North is just being called North, even though it's not. Yeah. I mean, I anticipate there's a level of that going on under the hood, but there's a lot of information in this diagram that I don't know how to extract, right? So I'm withholding my judgments based on that fact.
A cheesecake cookie. I made this picture in steps, right? But I should put I should copy a picture of the bird and just put bird equals boss. Hold on, I'm gonna do that right now. Bird equals boss. Copy, paste, bird. Text here. No, stop copying and pasting.
I can already see that this is something that would drive me insane,
Bird.
and I would quit whatever raid group was making these calls. Because this is exactly what I thought before you had explained it, before you drew it. It's exactly
Hell yeah.
This is exactly what I thought it would be, is that it was going to be a circular arena.
So there's 4 parts to this this whole thing, and circular is just one of the few arenas we had to fight on.
It still doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't
matter.
Beavers, can I ask you kind of a fundamental question? What does it mean when you claim that something, in response to, what does it mean for something to matter?
What do it mean? What does it mean for something to matter?
Yeah, like in the context, like a conversation where you're like talking about things, and like, someone's like, oh well, that doesn't matter, and like, what do they mean when they say it doesn't matter, and what do you mean when you say, oh, it does matter?
It has to be. I don't want to go in the deep end and say life changing. It's not life changing, right? But it is It's perceptive changing. It's being able to change an outlook on something that actually would either A, make your life better, or B, make your life worse, I guess, is like a way.
I don't
And
think that
if
it
it
really.
doesn't neither of those
yeah.
things, then I feel like it doesn't matter,
Uh-huh.
I guess, in a way. Which is why then you don't worry about it,
Uh-huh.
I guess.
How does the circle make your life better or worse?
Circles are great in this context because generally pie slices are amazing, and talking about pies in this game is really nice. If it goes to squares, for some reason historically squares are rude, and I don't know why they're rude in Final Fantasy, but usually in Final Fantasy Yoshi P likes to fuck with squares, and always makes things just worse. It always makes things complicated because it's like the mechanics need to go along with it. It's just rude.
So it matters for rating more generally, but it doesn't matter more specifically to the conversation about like North and South and the various kinds that Final Fantasy allegedly has.
Yeah, because
Right.
ultimately it involves the boss itself. The boss is what makes this matter.
Right. But the arena's shape itself is not like directly related.
Yeah, I just made a circle first just because I thought circles were easier to talk about.
Sure.
Squares.
I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to walk you to what Burned meant by that doesn't matter. Is that it didn't have a direct relationship to the, particular part of the conversation that was being had, right?
I think. It depends also on the boss. It depends on. I guess we did have an arena relative at one point, but it's like one boss only. So we just kind of were like, "This boss sucked." We called that. We said this boss sucked, and then walked away from it because that fucked with so many people. It fucked with so many people. It was like not fair. I believe that was P7. Stupid tree. We hate trees. That's why I hate plants.
It's basically making all the sense in the world because I'm boiling this down to it's Beaver's logic, which means I have to take about 75% off the top, divide it by 0, okay? Right? So after you divide it by 0, then you add 17, exactly 17, right? Multiply it by pi, okay? Then you take it to the train station and mail it in Chattanooga, Tennessee, right? Where a munchkin will pick it up, right? Eat it, regurgitate it, and then take the letters from the regurgitation, put them onto another letter, reorganized like a serial killer note, right? Mail it back to you, and then when you read that, that's what it is.
Is this secretly a compliment? Because you let me divide by
Not in the
0?
slightest, no.
Oh. I was like, that's kind of cool to be able to divide by
It
0.
makes
and be
so
successful
again,
about it.
but what I'm saying is that like I understand how it makes sense to you, and I get that, but the very logical like part of my brain sits down and is like, I would never use this system because changing the directions like that just is not a good system, because north is just north. Like I would genuinely, because the stage the stage doesn't rotate, and regardless of what shape the stage is, right? The stage itself does not rotate, so you can just have anchor points on the stage labeled as like given a designation and then say move here, and that's where it is. The only way that doesn't work is if it's like there's literally no way to tell where you're at on the stage, and you have to go by just which direction the boss is facing, which implies there's
Thank you,
no
Chris.
background, there's
I love you so much.
nothing else to it other than just a big old flat plate. And if that's the case, then fine. I'm still gonna shit on the system, but I get it.
So yeah, like, so the cool thing about this is the stage does transform, actually, in a sense. Not
Okay,
like
that's fine.
completely,
That's fine.
because like an example of this, right, is like right now the stage is a circle. The minute the boss does this, now we're on a semicircle, right? And that's kind of the way the stage changes. Is that sometimes you have to keep this in mind when you're doing something, because sometimes overlapping things happen at the same time, to the point where it's like you don't have the full circle to play with anymore.
Yep, and that doesn't negate what I said at all, because now you're just saying you move to these specific points, right? These the other points that are off of the stage are now null and void. You still only call those points.
Right, you can do that. In this picture's like situation, right? In this whole thing, True North is like perfect. It's like the thing you should use here. Like,
No,
oh, the boss is hitting the entire east side, and we have this whole west side just opened up, and half of south, half of north. North.
so
left, and
so
south
so
left.
let's say
It's, like,
let's say in
perfect.
this example, when you come into the stage, the boss is facing south, right?
Yeah.
In my experience, we would say like, okay, fine, call it south, right? But then you'd have all of them labeled as a direction, right? So you have your cardinal directions, and then you'd have your what are they called?
Hold up, I told you this.
What are they called? What are they called? Auxiliary? It's not the term. Anyways, like northwest, northeast, south, southwest, southeast, right? So say you have those 8 points, right? You can literally just say like east half gone, and it just tells everybody like, hey, don't go that. You don't have to change north based on which way the boss is facing. It's just all the same all the time.
How cool is it? Hold up. Did this actually work?
Thank
This
you
is
for
actually like a
reminding me to
strategy
hydrate,
board.
Canis.
Yes, thank you, Sorbet.
Fuck you, Ema. You're a traitor.
Okay, man.
Thank
I know.
you, thank you.
Bitch.
Fuck you, Emo.
Hey, Emma. It's good to see you, friend. I hope you're doing well. Welcome
Can I
in.
not?
No.
You're lucky you're endearing.
Can I not make
You're lucky
one?
you're
This is-
so wholesome.
I have a feeling that his endearingness has little to do with luck and much to do with intention.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
his
see.
intentions could be fine, but if he's just lucky that he is. Because if he didn't have those intentions, he could not be that way. He could have been
This is true.
predisposed. Have been predisposed to not be that way. He could be like me. He could just be an asshole.
Can I-
Meta, the worst part is that the reading numbers conversation reminded me of this conversation when it was happening. It's just
I don't
a
want
circle.
to. I don't want. Are we gonna go back to the conversation about the best
It's
faces for
complete
numbers?
Queen. I don't. Fine. Never mind.
Beaver's argument has merit, but it's like the worst kind of merit. It's like it
I'll be-
works.
I'm trying to
I'll
find
be
it's-
so
a,
honest, and I'm sorry for this, but I have been paying negative attention. I have been zoned all the way into Factorio and all the way out of the conversation.
I'm trying to buy a game and Steam won't let me, and this makes me really sad.
Oh no!
No, I
Not
can't.
letting you
I
buy
can't make-
Black Mesa.
It's not. I think it's on Steam's end because like I checked. It's saying that my credit card was declined, but like if my credit card was declined, my bank would like send me a text and be like, "Hey, this is what's going on." Like
Yeah.
whatever. And they're not, so I'm like, it's got to be on Steam's end. Plus, I tried to load up PayPal to circumvent the bank's bullshit, and in case it was the card, and that's not loading either. So I am stuck playing something from my library.
Steam does have a weird. I've been affected by
happens
a weird
sometimes.
thing before where their shop can glitch, and if it glitches, you just get locked out of buying stuff on Steam for like 24 hours because
Yeah,
you have
it's-
to wait for it to clear. Like,
It's very frustrating. I agree.
Beavers didn't go through a whole explanation. Like, I pretty much looked at it immediately, really
trying to
understood
find
what he was saying.
So there's a website here I'm trying to use right now that lets me like actually create like actual places, and I'm trying to see if I can use this because like I'd much rather use like actual resources than to use my own. Because my picture of a fucking like Genshin bird being evil, I think is just like not...
but you don't need to, like, I'm being honest, you don't need to explain it any further. I get exactly what you're saying. You're like, as the boss moves, like, you're changing the callouts to be relative to the boss because of where it's attacking and its attack patterns and such things like that. And it makes sense. It's just for like a new player coming in and not knowing that, like, the changing of the changing of a name of a spot on the map based on how something moves is just not intuitive.
Well, no,
Instead of just having
it's not the renaming of a spot, it's the renaming of an absolute direction.
Yes,
which is north, south, east, and west, right? These things that in real life we use to mean absolute directions, using them in a relative context is going to be unintuitive until you learn to accept, using them relatively.
So to give you like a really good example of like where I come from on this, when doing raids in like Destiny, bosses will move around. We don't change any directions on that. Every spot where you need to be for callouts is labeled specifically with an alphanumeric designation, like L1, L2, R3, R4. And we have maps drawn up to send to people so you can pull that up and like look at it, and it's simple because it's just a 2 call out that doesn't change. No matter where the boss goes, that spot will always be that same designation. So we use that because then it's just kind of easy. You can send like somebody a map, and you could just be like, hey, these are where the spots are at. Take a second and learn it. Then you get to the boss arena, and it's just like you take a look, and it's like, okay, I figured this out. If we have to change, if you calling out changes to a direction and changing a fundamental direction, then it's like I could very easily get confused on that because you're like, oh, true north, and I'm like, what?
So I don't know Destiny stuff that much, but how like what's that word I'm looking for? How hard would it be for someone who's never seen anything of it to walk into, like, I play Borderlands, so I know how to play a shooter properly. How hard would it be for me to go into that boss arena and just come out okay?
Honestly, like, the way, and this is kind of more a nod to the raiding community of Destiny. They're very good at creating a system where it's always done so efficiently that one person could like not have to be too involved with the overall mechanics of the raid. Even though it helps if everybody does know, there's still always we can design it so that there's a spot that really doesn't have to worry about too much, but they still have to know like where to go ahead of time, because depending on the mechanics, if one person dies, like, it's over, right? Like, no matter what their position was, no matter if they were a healer, a tank, DPS, anything like that, if they go down, like, the whole encounter is shot and has to be done again, right?
What the fuck?
So they still have to know the call outs for that, because that's just how it's going to be. And even different groups have different names for the different spots. They still the spots are still the spots, and those names will depend. They might change per group, but they don't change in the middle of that encounter. Per the encounter, that spot will always be like L2. It will always be that.
I'm in a basketball. Sorry. Just
you made a tic-tac-toe board.
I have a
I'm in
question.
basketball. Yes.
So I guess first thing is that, so just for clarification, the whole point is that everything is relative to the boss, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not everything. Depends on the boss. but
Okay.
yeah.
But then, because I feel like part of the whole reason that this is a thing that seems frustrating to people that are not already involved in this is that the terms north, south, east, and west are like essentially
Oh,
already
welcome in.
very specific terms. So, like, hi, Raiders.
Oh, hold on, I'll deafen you. You guys keep
Okay.
going. I'll deafen and greet.
But so basically, mostly, I don't understand why there's prefixed versions of north, south, east, and west, and not just like boat terminology. Like boats already did this.
Don't say boats.
We
You're
already
not allowed to
have
say
boat
boats.
terminology. We already
You
have,
cannot use
aft.
boats.
Like
You cannot use
Starboard.
boats.
we already
cannot
say
have
starboard or,
literally a
like,
method of a like referring to things that moves around, and it was done for boats.
You can't do
I-
this. You can't do
Dwarf.
this.
Yeah.
You can't
Dwarf,
talk about boats.
Can I just say, like, I didn't even think of boats. Thank you so much.
But boats literally
ignore
have
boats
been
on
doing this
purpose.
since like before, like
Yep.
it just sounds like this is just boat terminology, but for some reason we've reskinned it to be confusing.
We hate we hate boats. here.
No, we're all gonna ride on a boat, and you know what it's gonna be
No.
called? You know what it's
Starboard
gonna
and
be called?
larboard.
The EGG Steven.
I hate that too.
Anyway, so I
Uh,
just really
so-
like I just don't see why we don't use boat terminology instead.
I love it.
Oh.
I love it. I'm gonna do that
So-
from now on. I'm gonna start playing Final Fantasy 14, learn how to raid, and I'm gonna join your group, Beavers, and I'm gonna get them all on boat terminology.
So guess the fuck what? Everyone except for me and I think my Venezuelan friend, which I think can be argued with him because he actually he knows. I think he has starboard and larboard. I think everybody in my group except for me knows how to do boat terms, and I don't. So it's like,
So yeah, I would
when those
literally do
came
this just to spite you. Yes, that's how this
so
works.
like everybody
So
else
thank you
was
for
like,
that
Beavers,
information.
don't you know your boats? And I'm like, I don't know my boats, and I got punished so hard during 4.0. It's not fair. I learned my boats eventually.
So that's why you don't use it. It's because you don't
mean,
know it.
Well, no, because the fact that it's just longer for starters to say left or west or east or right, and to say starboard or larboard, and they also end the same. So I have this thing, right?
Port and left are the same. Like that's how you know which one is which. That's the trick.
Port and
Action.
left.
Hello,
Yes,
I'm
port,
deafened.
port is left, starboard is right.
What's larboard?
Welcome back, Inti.
Larboard is not a thing.
Really?
Thank you.
Am I saying
It's
it wrong?
port,
Look
starboard, bow, and stern.
Which one do you always say? Hold up.
Bow, bow.
I just fucking knew somebody was gonna do it.
I hate that I started that. I mean, I love it. I
Okay.
love that I started that, but
We've all made
no.
mistakes in our life. It's okay.
no, Etsy. But did you hear? Dwarf brought up the most valid point of all.
What was his move called?
What's
What
that?
was his move called? I can't see the
Just
name
use
of the-
boat terminology.
Boat terminology is
Yeah.
terrible.
I love it. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
forward and
like-
aft. That's right. Forward and aft are the directions. That's right. Thank you, Queen. I'm an idiot. I deserve to be punished.
The
I just-
the the boss is a boat that you're all riding. That's what I meant to understand.
Yeah, that's what my understanding is that's what everything is like we just already had communication for this. It's just boat terminology. But yeah, the
Right.
boss is the boat.
Yeah, I
So-
think this is going
Is
to be done
Beavers deep in
streaming.
thought looking up boat terminology? Is that what's happening?
Because I'm being told that
Yeah.
larboard doesn't exist, and I'm like, are you sure? And apparently it does exist. It means the left side of a ship.
Yeah, it's just
Yep.
it's just the like older term for it is what it looks like.
Yeah,
I
so
was just
you
saying.
use
Yeah, they
starboard
stopped.
and
They stopped calling it larboard and started calling it port because that was the side of
they
the ship.
use the old one because they want to be fancy.
Well, they're dumb. They're dumb and they're no.
You're
they're,
dumb.
they're dumb. They're dumb.
Just because you know
It's
your
called
history
it's called
doesn't mean
port
it's
because that's the
bad.
port side of it. That's where you would dock.
I know. I mean, I guess they did it because that would confuse confusion with Starboard. But you know, why not keep the confusion for raid's sake? Because you want to make things, you know, more.
Beavers, when your argument is why not keep it for confusion's sake, I need you to stop arguing.
They want it so that we can't, because they want you to fuck up the call out on purpose. It's part of the mental strategy here, and I hate it.
I know.
There's only like
So-
3 fights that use it, and
So
I
now you're
fucking hate all 3 of those
advocating
fights.
against like Final Fantasy 14 is like just to be like 100% like on
No,
the same
out of the
like,
3 bosses out of 200, like those 3 bosses, I just hate them with a passion because I already don't know my left and rights, right? I have issues with my left and rights already, which is really fucked up to make me the left and right, north south call out guy, because like I already have a direction deficiency.
Actually, this brings up a great question. Why were you the one responsible for all of this? Like,
Because
why
they
were
said,
you
and
put
I
in charge
quote,
of it?
Gonna
They're
learn
like-
today.
well, you want to learn.
No,
They
no
said-
better trial than trial by fire.
Right, exactly. Like, hey, let's make the dyslexic guy learn. He has to learn someday. And I was like,
That's-
okay, I guess I'll learn.
That's
And I did.
terrible.
I learned really well because of
But
it,
effective.
actually. It was really effective. So
Uh,
I'm actually really happy they made me
There's
do
a
it,
lot
so.
to unpack in this.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Like Beaver, like Seaburn said, Beavers, today's your day.
I
Also,
had
the reason why-
I had no shot of unpacking all of this in my first like conversation with Beavers about all of this.
so really quick, the reason why is because of the class I was playing. I was forced upon it, but then they proceeded to go on saying, "Well, this would be a good learning curve for you." And so, and I was like, "I guess so," because I was playing as the filler mage. Everybody else had a set place to go, but me as a ranged DPS at the time, I needed to go somewhere, and they're like, "Well, Beavers, figure it out." Final Fantasy is also very funny because at the same time, people were arguing about, "Hey, is that dress blue or black or blue and gold?" They gave us a mechanic that was either blue and white or black and red. And it was very funny, because people didn't realize if it was green and red or it was black and red. People kept arguing about it, and people were like, it was such a funny, like they do things to fuck with you on purpose. Anyway, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Elish's point, which is that like using waterboard is probably much more just a stylistic choice for like the universe, the setting, because
Yeah.
like more ancient English terminology gets used a lot more frequently.
Word
I-
bloat. I hate it. I died. I deserve that. I just heard Gage just die in the background on this picture. She died the
Good.
minute I said I'm talking about this topic. She just died. It's fine. Also making
Well-
arenas for fun. I think arenas are fun. I made a basketball. It's a
You
square,
think
though.
north, south, east, west is more cogent than boat terms? Why though? For me, I feel like if there's an extant convention, it's better to use it than to overwrite another extant convention. Right? Like, why would you toss out like
Nope. I think Queen's
One-
point is that the average person knows north, east, west, south, and they don't know boat terms. And so the average person isn't going to learn the new terms, they're going to repurpose the existing ones.
Which is why it's fucked they put in the fight in the first place, assholes. I hate them.
Which I don't agree is the correct thing to do, but I think that's Queen's point, and it is probably why we're in this situation.
let's go.
Let's go!
No, I was like Phoenix released. GG.
Oh, what? Let's go.
That's
Did you just wait? Did you just need the Pokédex to be done?
I don't know.
Is that what happened here? Oh, is your goal filling the Pokédex, but without a Pokédex you can't beat it? Is that how this works? This is fucked up.
I wonder
Wait,
if this
you
game-
can't send Pokedex checks till you get a Pokedex? Oh, that's super fucked up.
That's really funny.
It is really funny. You get like a mini release. That's really funny. So here's the thing, Queen. That is just experientially not true for the vast majority of people. Right? Like, yes, okay, it is relative to the North Pole. That is true. But it isn't, like, so few people actually interact. Like if the argument is that north, south, east, west is more common terminology, then the same argument applies that it's much more common that people would be familiar with north being a completely fixed thing than they would be it being a relative thing, because the relative context only applies when you're dealing with like astronomy or what's the word
I'm not just chatting. I'm actually playing again.
What's the word? Aeronautics is the word that I want to say, but that feels wrong. Things flying through the sky. No, I said astronomy already. The aircraft, aviation. There we go, aviation. Jesus, why was that so hard to come to? But like most people are gonna have those be completely fixed directions. Aeronautics is also right, I think. Okay, cool. And I think that it does more damage to long-term communication to override a convention than to learn terminology for an extant one.
That falls out of my purview of this true north nonsense. I can't go into that. I don't think it's that philosophical when it comes to rating. That may be why I never hit orange. But whatchamacallit, that is
But yeah, all I'm making a claim about ultimately is what would make the game easier for people to understand, right? Like if we could make it so that anything was true, right? Like what would be the actual better, kind of way to organize it? And I think that not having used north, south, east, west for what you're talking about would have been more fruitful. My hot take is that it's fine in the context of B versus being intentionally obtuse, which I personally find frustrating, but shrug. I think humans are really good at contextualizing, and zero damage is being done. Damage is being done to me. Psychic damage is being done to me.
Damn.
Nobody cares about me.
Hey, Deadly, welcome in.
The absolute
Hi.
mental horror that I've been through.
What's wrong?
Just beavers.
I mean, I'm the one that actually
Grinch?
rated, I'm the one that actually rated for a decade. So like, I think if anyone went to hell, I think it's me.
I mean, so ostensibly you did pick that experience.
I cannot accept that right now. If somebody else could.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I didn't have a chance to. I guess someone else did.
Okay, this game is not as cool as I thought it was gonna be. Get over here, cat. Come on, fight me, cat. Come on.
What game are you playing?
Papered.
Papered?
It's very much a silly little like beta game that I found.
I see.
Which stop with doing the pop-ups. Can I join?
Yeah, burned. It's done.
I can
Okay,
say out loud.
What's done? Wait, what? What?
The thing. It's
No.
done.
It's not done. It's not a thing. It's not real.
Can't hurt you if you don't believe in it.
Damn right. That's Beaver's logic right there, right?
I can say that the way that I purview this whole thing is what I actually do in real life, and this helps me be very not direction enabled, whatchamacallit, efficient, and I'm not sure the word I'm looking for. I use this all the time, like in my house in general, right? And when I tell people where to go or go do something or to place something, like I kind of do this also in general in real life, and
So-
it
so
helps.
you're
It helps me out a
using-
lot.
You're using
Yeah.
relative north, south, east, west in your daily life?
Unfortunately, I do use north left
Yeah, this game
and
actually
south
sucks.
south right. So
I thought
like
there was more to it.
Damn it.
So
mix.
Queen to visit to come back to your there is damage being done.
Yeah.
Like, it helps me out to gain my context, and even like in other games as well. Like it's helped out in a lot of different games that I've done, and it's a pretty useful
Lost
system.
My support beaver.
It's fine.
Oh.
It is okay. I appreciate how far you've come along with me, though, Queen. I very appreciate it because you were in my whole concert, right? My whole auditorium. You're the only one with a glow stick going, "Hey, you know what?" And I appreciate that single
Maybe
glow
he's
stick.
not so bad.
You know, it only takes one person
Oh.
to stay strong.
Okay.
Oh, hey, that
Oops.
is like 2 more rounds away from go mode for me in Borderlands. Hell yeah.
I forgot to hit send.
My
There it
game
is.
just went PowerPoint.
Oh no.
That's fine.
Oh, cool. My open RCT is broken.
Oh no. How come?
I don't know. It said there's a mismatch to it. I'm hoping I just download the newest version to it, and it works.
Yeah. Probably.
I'll hope.
It might also
hopefully.
be that RCT2 base game on Steam got the once in a blue moon update or something. You need to down patch it, but I doubt that.
No, I usually check that, and that hasn't got one in a while. Because that was the first thing I checked. Was like, yeah.
Right.
I no. Let me shoot you, please.
They're burned. It is actually there.
All right,
now.
you have been accepted, Deadly.
Thank you.
It
Thank
said
you, thank you, Mermaid. Thank you.
Twitch, why are you like this?
Twitch
What
doesn't
did it
know.
say?
It said that it's ended.
No.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna send this
anytime-
over to Beavers.
It says you're getting ready, is what it says in the window for me. If I scroll down, it's it shows all of us with shared chat and everything, and then your status is getting ready ...
If you
So
if
it
you
does,
refresh
it
your
does think you're
page,
trying to join.
if you refresh your page, you should be able to just rejoin. It should just say join instead of knock, and you could probably join that way pretty
Update
easy.
G2.dat. Mismatch tracks dat size.
Keeps trying anytime I click
But I
dwarf
just updated.
or Eddie, it's just trying to join Seaburn, and I'm like, okay.
Well, because I
Never
think
tried to join
Seaburn's
me.
the host.
Oh yeah, I think that is true.
Why do I always end up the host?
If you knock first, that's why.
Nobody ever. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fair.
Seaburn about to say
I'm-
nobody knocks on my
have-
door. Also, doesn't let most people.
No, I was also more to say I'm also usually the first one to go live out of our little group because of time
Yeah.
zone. So time zone and sleep schedule and such. So yeah, usually
Right,
I'm the
for-
first one on. So it
Thank
just
you for
makes
joining.
sense.
Stream together's end. Okay, Twitch. Okay.
I am actively now trying to play other things and it's crashing. So I might have to resort to my last ditch effort, which means I have to lock in. And I apologize to anybody who might see it.
Oh,
I just need
But
to
you
post
can't-
this a couple places.
You
And I'm
can't
going to
judge me
bed.
for this.
I'm just imagining being in the kitchen and being like, "Hey, Torny, can you hand me that knife over there, the one that's boss north of the pan?"
insane.
This boss north of the pan.
Tony's a boss now.
I'm gonna start doing that just like at drill and at my annual training. I'm no longer gonna use actual cardinal directions. I'm gonna make everything relative to the commander.
Commander Okay, Commander North is hilarious though.
It's like, which direction we need to go? Just Commander West. What the fuck? Oh. All right. Well, since that one didn't work, we will now once again
How expensive are laser turrets to make again? Oh, they're really expensive. Flamethrower turrets are less expensive though, but that means oil production.
Ooh.
Oil is a
Ooh.
pain.
Yeah, you have to manage your straits and
Luckily none of
set
that
up
oil.
set up your strategic blockades.
Oil production, me right now, meta.
So burned.
Yes.
Now that that's done, so I go over to EG and post it.
No.
Reasonable.
No. What do I have to do to make this not happen? What are your terms?
Oh, that's a max.
I don't have one for you, Deadly, so I need to make one.
Okay.
You ever realize you were doing something really stupid for like 20 minutes and then it just like clicks?
Sometimes that happens to me, but it's on the scale of like years.
I intentionally paired things together in this. And then when I went to go draw a like line, I paired them differently than how I originally paired them.
Oh no.
And that just made things not make sense anymore. And I was like, God, this made so much sense when I was looking at it.
God, I love Cat Quest. This game's so good.
Always doing dumb things gets boring. All right.
I love the reading where it's just like, yeah, I would love for it to be 20 minutes because then it like has an end and I get to do something else.
Okay, I was still wrong.
Hey, there's the thing that we were just talking about. I love that I just killed myself. It's very good. Adamus killed Adamorio. Eddie on A violence. You hate to see it.
Oh shit.
Why wasn't that valid though?
I have to take a multi-class.
Wait, no, hold on. Wait. This probably won't kill anyone. This is probably correct now. Let's go! Okay.
Nice.
You remember, when you figure out your issue, but then you don't realize that you made a new issue while correcting your issue? Classic.
When I first heard Eddie Mario, I was like, wait, Eddie's doing a Mario game? I have run an SMW. Did I run it in? I think I ran it in one of the weeklies. I don't think I've run it in Async. Unless I ran it in the last Async, but I don't think I did.
Maybe I should join one of the weekly ones just because I've never done a manual, but I really want to play Odyssey again. And I know there's a manual for Odyssey.
Yeah, the weekly ones are great because there's really no restrictions on like trying new things or there's because it's such a short event, right? There's relatively low stakes, for trying new things if things go wrong,
and
et
that's
cetera, et cetera.
part of the thing is I'm like, I've never wanted to bring a manual to a proper event because I'm like, if I think I'll hate it is the problem. I'm pretty sure I'll hate doing a manual, which is why I've never done one. But I'm like, well, at least if I hate it, I'm not like really committed to anything.
Yeah, right.
I just want to play Odyssey. Wonder if anyone's made a Balloon World manual. This is a joke.
You could be the first.
I don't even understand how you would make that work, and it would probably be terrible.
You could be the first. That's all that needs to matter, Dwarf.
Everybody needs water. What if I'm allergic to water?
Nobody's made me drink water, so I'm not drinking water.
Wolfgang just said everyone needs to drink water.
Didn't say shit. I don't see it in my chat.
You do see it in your chat.
I said Wolfgang thinks. Okay, that's not a command. That's not a directive. That is just.
You're okay. Hold on. So I'm now learning that you need. I'm learning a lot about you in a
short amount of time. Yeah, it's called taking orders, Dwarf. Ah, fuck. Okay, Candace, do you want the cola or do you want the strawberry? You get options now. I can take at least a sippy sip of water. Or I to give Candace the strawberry.
Thanks.
Cool. One big old can of pink coming up.
I need to make sure that this fits like another row. Whoa, there's the release. Let's go.
Nice.
God, that's good. Yeah, it clearly says not an otter. Was that my computer? Yeah, it was. Okay. Alright. There, I drank water.
I'm concerned that nobody sent me progression in Glover. Who's holding my next level in Glover?
Love how fast you had that. Yeah.
Would it be me?
I really need to figure out what I need to hit in Glover. That would probably be fun.
I honestly might be. I have a lot of Pokemon to catch, but I needed a night off because
Oh no, you're good.
Emerald is killing me. I really regret playing it.
You have my condolences.
Here's the thing.
I think I would be more enticed if I had actually done it correctly, but not having TMs, not having random trainers. It's just like I load it up now and I'm just like, ugh, this is.
Are you like saying like as compared to your crystal experience?
Oh, as compared to like the normal emeralds I play, which is very comparative to like how you play it. Yeah. Also, I was really defeated when I loaded it up because how your free fly location was Evergrande?
Yeah. And
Guess where
by the way, I ended up releasing the seed, never having gotten a fly.
Nice. Yeah, mine was not a cool location.
Let me guess. It was like Syphilage.
I wish it was Pacificlog.
Okay, let me guess. It was Falarbor.
I wish it was Falibor.
Oh no.
Remember, I didn't do it correctly.
Oh.
Was it your starting town?
It was Little Root.
That's
Yeah.
so incredibly brutal.
If you do it right, it can't be Little Root.
Yeah.
In fact, I think if you do it right, it can't be anything on the west side.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to imagine really fucked up ones for it to be, but I was like, I've literally never seen it be any of the.
Pacific Log is actually like really good because it gives you access to the whole
It's
surfing
true.
location.
It is very good.
Yep.
But I could see it being a huge pain in the ass to, especially if you got fly early and it was like, okay, hey, it's in logic, go do the water, the water grind, the ocean grind, like now.
I the worst one I had was I literally had God, what is the 8th gym town? I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember.
Sutopolis.
Yeah, I've had Sutopolis, and that one sucks because it's like, oh yeah, cool, it's in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, but you need dive, buddy.
Oh, that's fun. Sutopolis might be the worst, I think.
you get like, because you can fly, because you can
it lets you skip some of the story by not having because you need to go to the underwater cavern. So
you still have to do everything, and you get no checks from it, right? Because it's on the starboard side, so you don't get any checks on the starboard side of Sutopolis. They're all on the port side. So if you don't have surf, you don't get anything.
Yeah. Calling a city's sides using boat terminology. I love imagining like a fucking like a Howl's Moving Castle world where all of the cities are moving, and it's like you have to refer to like the sides of the city that way because like they're all vehicles.
I'm sorry, it's larboard. Oh, my apps are gonna run.
For the announcement correction.
Or whoever took over, or I don't know if Darcy went back to their night, but I was holding their shop key hostage. Oof.
Oh no.
It's fine.
Sometimes you have to hold a shop key hostage, to like let people know you mean business.
I think Sutopolis is facing west.
I think Beavers might be ignoring you.
I think Beavers hasn't been around for a while.
That could be too. That could be true.
I haven't heard Beavers in a while. I think they might have got something going on.
I miss Beavers.
I also miss Beavers. I would say, Queen, that Sutopolis, I would say any city is facing the canonically correct entrance direction. Because I think the city should be facing you when you enter it. Right?
This is true.
Here's the issue with this, though, is that this immediately runs into an issue when you try to look at a grid-based game like Pokemon, where everything is very clearly kind of like facing downward on your screen, like from the top of your screen to the down your screen, right? Just because of how the sprites operate, right? Like that's just the perspective that they've been given. So there's they're already kind of predisposed to facing a particular direction, right? Which is like towards the bottom of your screen, whichever direction you decide that is, right?
So you want to know something even more screwed up? This is gonna just break your mind just a little bit for logically. So Warhammer 40k takes place. The setting is the entire Milky Way galaxy, right?
Sure.
They use cardinal directions to tell you which part of the galaxy you're in. They use cardinal directions.
That I hate that so much.
Yep.
I mean,
and here's
bad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They can't possibly be like Earth,
Yeah, it's north, south, east, and west.
From Earth.
For they're like relative to the galaxy. Like, they're
No.
just like, yeah, it's in the north part of the galaxy.
I think
It's in the
Etty's
south part
saying
of the
like,
galaxy.
but where?
No,
So
but, like,
for
what
that
does
to work,
mean?
yeah, for that to
Exactly.
work, you have to decide that there's a flat plane you base it all off of.
Yeah,
So
well-
where
well,
are they
see, so-
establishing that plane? Are they establishing it based on Earth?
You need
Well, so the
axis.
Milky
You
Way- the
need an
Milky Way-
axis.
The Milky Way itself is largely flat because it's a spiral galaxy, right?
That's what Etty was
So-
saying. So they're basing it
Right.
off the Milky Way as the plane.
But
Yeah.
what point dictates north?
I mean, it's
Because
arbitrary.
you can
Pick one.
spin
You
this,
just
you
pick.
can spin
That's
this
fine.
disc,
You just pick.
right? But it's like instead of they use that, and it really like there's no actual like meaning behind it. It's entirely arbitrary, but they use it, and it's like
I mean, so like that one is like there's a difference when you're inside of a context where words that had meaning don't have meaning anymore, and you try to extend.
So
them,
that is
right.
that is also funny, Queen, because for travel in 40K, they use 2 points to figure out where they're at any point in the galaxy. 2 points only, and that is Terra, which is Earth, and which is the
When you
Astronomicon.
say they, this has to be like
It's humanity. It's
okay,
humanity.
yeah. I was gonna say this isn't like all the aliens that are also doing this, right? Like
Everybody else has got that, like, okay, so it's different because the Eldar don't travel the same way. Like, they have the webway, so they just, like, open a gate and they just go wherever they want to go. The Tyranids basically are just headed in one direction. The Orcs just go wherever the wind takes them.
I love orcs.
The
Orcs are
The orcs
amazing.
Literally,
So
the orcs are the only.
I was sitting here thinking about like, I bet the orcs could make this system make sense.
Yeah.
Just
No, the
because
orcs,
they would
because
force
the
it to.
orcs don't have like actually functioning spaceships. They just have rocks that they like essentially hammered a bunch of steel to. They don't actually have windows, but because orc magic is just, they believe it happens.
Yeah.
That works. So they just fly around on giant asteroids and then just land where they land, and that's it.
That's great.
That's how they navigate. So they have no direction, whatever. Unless there's a fight, then they figure out a way to get to the fight. That's their only sense of direction, is where's the nearest fight. That's orcs. The Tau don't use directions. They just expand in spheres all at once. Who else is there? Yeah, that's all the major factions. And then you have the God, what are they called at the core of the galaxy? I can't remember what they're called. They're kind of newer. They don't really go anywhere, so they don't fly. But humanity uses cardinal directions and somehow is able to like navigate through space using only themselves and where Earth is at as a means of like determining where they need to go and how to get there.
Yeah,
Through
you
the
can do
warp.
that.
Through the warp, mind you.
Yeah.
But you don't know where you're at. That's the thing. With only 2 points, you don't know where you're at.
Where you are relative to the Earth.
You know how far away you are, but that puts you in an entire like circle. Like you know how distance you are.
So
If
you
you're
don't,
just
you don't know the relative direction of Earth?
Like at times, there's no way you can know at all times the relative direction you are from Earth. You know the distance you are.
Well, I figure
that's just like-
that they just keep track of it. They know it at some point, and then they just keep track when they're turning.
Well, that's not how the warp works, unfortunately.
I see.
The warp is like in 40K is like jumping through hell. It allows them to travel faster than light, but because it's weird, it also allows you to time travel, but there's no way of knowing like how you're gonna do it. You also don't know where you're gonna end up necessarily. There's kind of points where you can figure it out, but if you have to make like a sudden jump, you could just come out wherever. there's actually records of ships that have entered the warp, and when they exit, they come out before they had entered the warp.
Yeah.
Creating a paradox, like creating like
Yeah,
a duplicate
that's-
of themselves.
That's fine. That's not too big a deal.
Eagle Eyes, we're always in 40k. I'm a goddamn Kriegsman. I live and breathe this shit. That's right. I'm a Kriegsman, not an otter.
I mean, you know, have we ever seen? Never mind. Forget it.
All Kriegsmen kind of look the same. Also, you couldn't be an otter person because then you would get murdered for being a Xenos.
But you could keep it very secret.
No, because most Kriegsmen are grown in vats.
That would make it harder to keep it a secret. That's true.
Yeah. God, I have too many mods in this game, and I have too many spells. And too many feats. Screw it. We're just gonna take ability improvement for everything. Elish, don't betray me like this. Don't call me an otter, please.
That's been so hurt.
Well, yeah, the planet of Krieg. That's where they're from. It was besieged by a civil war because the rich elites thought that they were above the Imperium and trying to, secede from the Imperium, and they're like, nah. And so, oh no, it's 100%. It's Krieg, like war in German. They are very much based on. They're stylized after German soldiers from World War One. They excel in trench warfare and artillery.
Yeah, I think that's what Bernd was saying, Torny, is that it's like it's an intentional misspelling that's like for people who know that word, right? Like obvious, but you know.
I try not to call people on spelling because I spell things wrong all the time. And I think like unless it's somebody's name, I think it's kind of just like whatever. How many different times can it take Fireball on the same character?
These are the critical questions to be asking.
Yeah, they GW took a lot of inspiration from like all over human history as we know it to like stylize their stuff. They have an entire group of people that are just Rambo. Like a planet that is just people. They're all Rambo. No, Rambo, like the action movie Rambo. Yeah. They all grew up in a jungle. It's harsh. They all walk around basically shirtless with knives and are great at guerrilla warfare. Yeah.
That's very funny.
It's incredibly funny. GW is like some of their writing is really great, and then some of it is just like this is really, really bad.
I know. Sometimes you gotta know when to embrace the camp.
Yeah. I actually know a Sergeant Rambo, like in real life, but it's spelled Rambow. So it's just not as cool. Oh wait, no, his name was literally John Rambo. Yeah, his name was John Rambo, but it was just spelled wrong.
That's very funny.
It was great. He went to, last time I saw him, he was headed off to drill sergeant school. Because he's just like, I'm just going to embrace this fully in a cool thing.
You kind of gotta, probably, I imagine, to make do.
I wonder if I'm going to get my new emotes tonight.
Ooh, exciting.
They were due like a week ago,
Mm.
and I contacted the artist and they're like, oh, I'm finished, but I'm just putting them together on like a display for you before I finalize the files.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay.
Mm.
There's an otter somewhere.
Someone secretly contracts your artist to add some otter emotes.
So what they do is they put them all on like one image, so you can look at them all in one image and decide if you like them. That's what they mean by on display.
Yeah.
So they don't have to send you like a whole zip file of like all the emotes, so you can look over them one by one and everything. You can just one picture, quick image, like see if you have to make any edits. Yeah, and then if you like them, there's
Our pollution cloud is so much smaller now. This is so nice. Feel safe again.
Well, you know, Ema, if there didn't have to be so many gosh darn allegations, you know, you have to defend yourself, right? You have to. If I just ignored it, it wouldn't go away. It's just not going to. Y'all are gonna have your fun with it, and I'm just gonna sit back here and let the emote do its thing.
Let the emote do its thing. Come on,
You know?
emote, take the wheel.
It speaks for itself.
Having a very funny.
It's true, Vinny. We're always having a very funny around here. We got a lot of people who are good at producing very funnies.
I did it. I finished the game. The
GG.
end was super sad. I don't know why.
Well, Elish, is anybody accusing Canis of being an otter? No. Is anybody accusing Falcon of being an otter? No. Is anybody accusing Etty of being an otter? No.
We should start accusing everybody of otterhood, I think.
That's true. I think Etty might actually be a decentralized synthetic otter.
So,
Yeah. And I am the goddamn Kriegsman. That's how this works.
one of the things I think I find the funniest about this whole conversation is that not once has an attempt really been made, as far as I'm aware, to like pin down the meaning of otter in this context.
Oh no, we know where it comes from.
So I feel like if everybody in the conversation knew where it came from, like that's my big thing is I don't think everybody knows, maybe. I think maybe some people think that we're talking about an aquatic mammal sans any other details. And that's not true.
No,
Right?
no. Torny had to bring it up. This is Torny's fault. 100%. And you know what it started? It started as a harmless conversation. I explained this earlier. It started off harmlessly because we were talking to Borderlands 2, Beaver's whole situation. We talked about twinking, which was, as Elish explained, is just moving items from a higher level character to a lower level character. It's moving items between characters. We're not directly trading. It's an old term.
Right.
And I brought it up because I was like, I don't know if I can use that term. It doesn't feel right because it's kind of like, like I'm not in that circle, so it's like something I don't use. Well, then all of a sudden everybody started calling me a twink, and I'm like, I'm not a twink. That's no, ha 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 ha. And then Torny said, no, I more like an otter, and
Sure.
it went from there. Torny brought it up. I fully blame Vivi for pushing that boat down the river into the rapids and out to sea. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to picking my spells. There's too many spells. I have too many mods.
Right, what the fuck?
Let's see.
Is actually blackmailing this poor streamer. Just trying to live his life. I don't know about that, Torny. I've never been able to load and shoot Sorbet like a gun. That doesn't seem. I don't think I would call him a gun dog. That doesn't seem right. Wiki wouldn't lie to me. No, wait, you're right. Hey, Sorbet, come over here.
Have you actually tried? Because
Yeah, this is a great point. I need
Well, I
to
mean,
stop
you
being
can
such a
train.
doubter.
You can train a lot of dogs to do that.
Please don't cock me. Well,
I was gonna make that joke went through my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I can trust Canis to make it himself. And it happens.
Hey, Steph, welcome in. It's good to see you, friend. I hope you're doing well.
I have
Steph.
heartburn.
Oh no.
Well,
My turn.
you should let it go.
I was just going off the mole style snoot on the PNG. Yeah, okay. So for anyone who isn't aware, like fully up to date on terminology, there's like there's a collection of terms that get used for like subgroups within the LGBTQ community. This should not be like a surprise. I'm sure that you're even aware of some of that terminology, right? Depending on who you are. There is the relatively well-known twink and bear, which are specifically meant to be referring to gay men with particular body types that like present themselves in a particular way, et cetera, et cetera. There are additional terms that kind of are meant to capture classifications in between, these other terms, and otter is one such. Fucking cock me. So I think for me, the reason that I have not personally been engaging very much with this conversation is that there's a stipulative requirement about somebody's sexuality for such a label to be appropriate, and I'm not going to be one to assume and otherwise try to dig into somebody's sexuality via terminology that maybe not everyone is actually even on the same page about. Oh, you're putting a full summon on burned. Right.
No. So that is what Vivi is doing, and that is a specific interaction that I have with Vivi, where she is a shapeshifter, and then made a model that looks like a rat, and that was like kind of the joke, haha, that's your persona, and then I really like had a fun time digging into that, and that now the community just agrees on that, like, haha, Vivi is now a rat, and that's a thing. So that is Vivi is like coming back at me on that, and like, no, that's now you're like literally taking it the other way and just like saying, no, you are now an otter, accept it, because that's the dynamic. I'm not I also want to preface, I'm not offended by this in any way. It's just funny. Yeah. It's funny to me.
I was mostly aiming to bring everybody up to date, because the longer this whole conversation went on, the more and more convinced I became that maybe not everybody knew exactly what was under discussion.
Did Vinny just call me a snack?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I just look at it. I think most people have gotten onto the like literally the literal otter thing about
and
it.
I think that like the literal otter angle is definitely the more.
I don't think anybody here is trying to insinuate anything about my sexuality.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's just an otter picture in my desktop now?
You can post it.
Finally. It's more of an
I'm more
adjustment.
stressed about. I'm honestly, I'm not even stressed about that as much as I am about all these damn spells in this game that I have added that I didn't realize I added.
At this point, Burn, it's just a testament to how bad of an artist I am.
It's fine. You should see me draw.
You probably draw
I know that doesn't
better
make you. I know that doesn't make you feel any better, but. Okay, last two spells.
Sophia Kriegsman in an alternate universe where otters are the dominant species from Terra.
Oh, all right. Hang on here.
Wait, Queen's cooking. Hold on. Wait a minute.
bah!
I think Beavers might be having a hard time.
Beavers is still ignoring us.
Can't believe this. I think I did hear him say something earlier, but he then immediately went silent again. And I didn't, it was in the middle of someone else saying something, so I didn't actually catch it. My inventory is becoming more and more full.
Yeah,
of
actually,
pistols.
that would actually work. Well, so technically, the Imperium of Man does allow certain subspecies of humans to exist so long as they are useful. The two most prominent examples we have of that are the Ogrins, which are just like big ogre humans. A lot of brute strength. They're afraid of like nothing except for small spaces, which sucks because all of the troop transports are very crammed. And then you have
Estella
Cat.
Day.
Cat girls.
Classic.
Yes, cat girls are canon to in the basically the blueprint of the grimdark genre. Cat girls are real. Because they have really fast reflexes and are good at killing things.
Allegedly.
They are. I mean, it's the stories
No,
about the Felinids
I
are.
know. I just mean like they were written to be that way.
Yeah, they are. They're like, and that's the thing. I've never looked into like why they exist, who wrote them, like why they're a thing. But they are. But yeah, there are specific examples. So if you wanted to do the thing, you could say that there is a subspecies of humans that evolved to be like otters because they live on a water world, and so they developed the ability to swim like otters, but it's a little colder, so they still have the fur and everything. You could write that as a thing, but then they wouldn't be.
It sounds like you are right now.
But then they wouldn't be Kriegsmen because they're not from the planet Krieg. They would be something entirely different. That's why the concept's bumped. Otherwise, I could just write it and make it a thing, but I can't because I settled on the Kriegsmen. Replacing all the humans with otters. See, that would be... I just can't imagine Space Marines as otters.
I mean, can you not, or are you too scared to?
I just can't. Biologically, it just would be weird. Because they'd have to be long and slender, and they'd have like tinier arms, and they wouldn't look right.
No. Listen, furries have got this on lock. They can make the proportions whatever they need to be. Don't worry about that.
Oh god, no. Somebody's gonna find this VOD and make it a thing.
I think anyone who would be finding the VOD to make it a thing is already in chat.
Why do I feel like
I'm
I have
sure,
to be worried?
Torny.
Why do I have to feel worried about Elish right now?
Humanity had their chance. Then we've got cat girls who are part cat, part otter. Wait a second, hold on, Queen's cooking.
If it's only constellation.
No, there can't be. There's no wetlands in Krieg because it got turned into a nuclear wasteland. There's no water
nuclear
on Krieg.
wetlands.
It's no. Nothing can live there.
It's
Are you gonna look at
water?
It's a death world. It's a death world.
Already
Nothing
It's the
exists
glowing
there.
wetlands.
That's why they're secret. Okay.
Hey, burned for your own, sake. I would not recommend reading Sorbet's most recent message from chat. It may cause you great distress.
I can't be mad at Sorbet. Sorbet's on the good list.
Okay. That's good.
Oh my god. How did I miss?
But Spock is not on the good list. How dare you?
Also, guys.
Yeah, but you've never been on the good list. No. You're not on the good list. No. Absolutely not. You feed beavers too much nonsense to be on the good list.
There's a list.
Oh, no, Eagle Eyes, there are two lists. There's the good list and the bad list. Right? You can be on neither list. You can just be a neutral party, which is where you're at.
You don't want to get put on the list.
Well, yeah. You cannot be on both because one list is for you perpetually raise my blood pressure. The other list is I cannot let my blood pressure rise because of you.
I like that the deciding factor of the list is actually blood pressure. Like this actually feels like a interesting take on like a health charting. Like
it's like it's so I have a friend.
You need to sort the people in your life into two bins, okay?
I have a friend that, and the reason I do this, it's a meme, but I have a friend who literally, like, when she goes through all of her stuff and her life choices and everything, she if something keeps her blood pressure high, she removes it from her life. Like, that's her deciding factor, because she's like, I might be able to like mentally kind of like make sense of things and still be mad about it, but I'm still like, if my blood pressure is still high, that's a health hazard to me.
If my
So I
body
shouldn't be
can't
around
get
that.
over it, then
Yeah. If my body just is like, no, this is not okay, it's like, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm like, good for you listening to your body, but also understand that like anxiety is gonna raise your blood pressure, and anxiety isn't inherently a bad thing. So
Yeah.
maybe tone it down. I really don't want to do Asterion right now. I don't want to level Asterion. I don't want to level either of these two because I'm going to change their class. We're not going to do it.
sort everyone into 3 bins. What are the 3 bins? Yeah, I'm curious what the 3 bins are. But also, yeah, hi Spunk. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, meanwhile we're having this conversation about cat girls and everything. Scap's talking about horse girls.
Oh,
Scap's
yeah.
always talking. Is Scap hanging out with Kyle?
I believe so.
Yeah, that tracks.
What, you don't know about the entire climate of Japan's horse racing and how that translates into an anime?
Well, I mean, the anime is very accurate to the reality of things.
Yeah.
You saw a horse girl in the wild driving through Seattle during SakuraCon? Incredible.
You know what? No. I'm uninstalling some of these mods. It's
For
too
you.
much. It's too much. I don't need level 40 double feats, all the stuff. I need to get better at not having all the mods, because then Howard B and Kyle Hagg's gonna play
True.
Hmm.
for next Async or Swim. Well, exactly, Spock. That's why I said like anxiety is not an indicator of like necessarily something bad. Anxiety is just like your body reacting to a situation, kind of getting more heightened. So you can it can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing.
Usually
I guess-
anxiety is if nothing else, an indication that you care. Right?
Yep.
Which can be a good and a bad thing, right? Not
It's
a strictly good
As
thing, but
as my doctor explained it, it's just like it's a natural reaction your body gets to a situation or circumstances or something, and your body is like getting more heightened to get ready, essentially ready to react to something in some kind of way. And for some people, it's who have anxiety issues, it's wildly disproportionate to that situation. Like, I don't like using the like term normal because that's not correct, but for
typical
people who
or
don't-
normative.
yeah, there we go, for typical or normative behavior, like that kind of situation, your body'd get heightened but not too heightened, whereas people who have those anxiety issues like myself, I get very worked up very quickly because my body doesn't regulate that very well. So it's something that I have to, and everybody has their own way of dealing with it. My blood
Otherwise,
pressure.
Of course I do. I have a readout. It's like you know how like those little heart monitors. I also have one of those for my blood pressure.
I need to get one of those for stream. You know what? That would be great. Oh my god, I gotta go on Amazon.
Oh, got hold on.
That way you guys could see my blood pressure rise in real time. $40. I'll wait till next week. What type of dog is best? The one that you are currently with. That's not a statement about.
Sophistry on demand.
That's not a statement
Um,
about you specifically. That is just a statement in general. Whatever dog you, the listener, are with currently, that is the best dog.
Hmm.
How am I not on blood pressure medication? Because I don't have a naturally high blood pressure. My blood pressure just spikes very easily because of my anxiety and because of beavers. Speaking of which, where's my dog?
Dogs I'm with.
Okay, I don't need that. I want the camp clothes because, like, nah, I don't need that. Just armor.
Oh my god.
Keep that. Armor the
Friends,
worthy. I don't like that
Ads are
one.
about to roll. I will see you back here in just a couple of minutes. Get up, stretch your legs, get a snack, get a beverage, all that good stuff. I really appreciate you hanging out, as always, friends. I'm going to step away, visit the maintenance room, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you back here in just a few. I just realized my music stopped when I joined the Discord call. It's fucked up.
I take wonderful care of myself. I am, on paper, the healthiest I have ever been in my life.
No,
Never
you
mind.
realize I don't need to understand it. I already do. Because I do too. Me too. You and me. On the same page.
I think I would. I don't think I would want it. I would ever use it on myself, though. If I had one, I don't think I would ever use it on myself because, like, I would be afraid to, like, find out all the things, and then I would just, like, it's like that episode of Scrubs where the guy comes in and wants, like, the full bodies, like, they're giving away free full body scans, and, like, Dr. Cox is, like, entirely against it because he's just like, people are gonna find things that aren't actually wrong, but it's gonna make them think there's a lot of things that are wrong.
I do need to step away for the break, but there's something really fundamental that I hate about that, like, philosophy. On the doctor's part, I mean. But I will be back. I will be back. We'll see if I remember.
I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, that's right. Wither's name is Bone Daddy. I want those. I want that. I don't need that. I don't need that one. There's an indoor bee wasp situation. What did we talk about? We talked about blood pressure. And then we talked about, like, yeah. I was more talking about, you were talking about full body scans. I was more talking about, like, if there's actually something wrong with you, yes, you should, like, know that. But the problem is like, some people can, like, you can have something that's, like, abnormal, and you can get a scan, and, like, oh my god, that's not right. And then be like, that's an issue. We gotta fix it. And then they can be like, that's actually not an issue. My aunt did that to me because I had some blood work done, and when my blood work came back, and I had my aunt read it because she's an RN, and I was like, just tell me if there's, like, something off about this or whatever. And she looked at it and she's just like, oh, your whatever test, she's like, it's actually a little, it's a little low. And my mom was like, well, what does that say? And she's like, well, it would be an indication of like kidney damage. And my mom just freaks out because she's like, oh my God, you have kidney damage. And she's like, no, that's not right. So it is a balance. Like it comes down to like you have to talk with your doctor and go through all those things. But I'm in the boat of I don't want to know all the things that are wrong with me. I do not want to know all the goings on in my body because that's just like that's all I'm gonna think about is all the things that are wrong with me, right? Because like if there's something going on in my body and it's not affecting me and not making my life worse actively, and I'm like I don't notice it, by knowing it, does it change anything for me? Probably not.
Fun fact, that like reaction thing is actually a whole thing in the medical world and is essentially part of why not everyone is like tested for things. Like people wonder, well, why don't we just test everyone for like all the things, especially like as testing for various things becomes easier. And the one of the big reasons is because all tests have like a chance of false positives, and if you don't take the basic like steps to like if you test 100 people for something and you know that a test has like a 5% false positive rate, then that means like 5 of those people would be you know, false positives. But if you take the first step and just say, well, okay, we already know that people that don't exhibit this symptom can't have this thing, you could just already have eliminated that list down to like, you know, less than 50 people maybe before you test. And then you're less likely, like the 5% is a smaller number of false positives. But the reason to care more about that is because if you take those 5 false positives from the original, like random 100 people, and you say, oh yeah, you might have whatever this condition is, that can be like mentally detrimental to people. Like, even though like the next step is again, well, we need to look more into this, like this was a preliminary test, it still is just like a whole lot of like mental tax on someone that's very unnecessary.
Yeah, and that was very much like the point of like I did a very like basic job of explaining the episode, but that was like the premise was like they based it around like there was a guy that was literally his whole character was like constantly getting tests for everything and like wanting to know all the things that were wrong with him, and like Dr. Cox does get burned on it because there actually ended up being something wrong with the guy, and Dr. Cox didn't want to do like all the serious amounts of testing and everything from that, but it was because the guy was like consistently convinced, like running tons and tons of tests all the time. So it was like kind of a notice of like, yeah, like full body scans for everybody all the time, bad idea. But like some people do need that and tests should be done. But like,
Yeah,
you shouldn't walk into a doctor and be like, I want a full battery of tests for all the things right now. Because then it's just like anything is going to pop and it's just going to be like just data overload on like all the things. And it's like, we don't actually know what's wrong because we just did all the stuff.
yeah.
So that's just not how like medicine works. You have a progression of how you test for things and how you go about it. You can't just test everything all at once and just know all the things.
So actually, whenever I go to the doctor, they just hit the fix everything button, and I leave feeling great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. I recommend you just go to those doctors, the ones that can find the fix everything button.
Just go to the Genius Bar and just, did you try reset?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you didn't hear what I said, like I do get like your point. Like I do want people to figure out what's wrong with them, but like getting a just immediate like battery of tests all at once to get all the info is like just not good medicine.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I did hear what you said.
Okay,
I had
okay.
my headset on. I would say that my
God, I
main
forget the
response, my main response would be that like the more fundamental issue that's going on there, right, is like medical literacy, and people not having like medical literacy, but also like, as odd as this may seem, like mathematical literacy, statistical literacy, right? And just generically like robustness of epistemology, scientific literacy, right? Just knowing how our systems of information verification work, right? And knowing and understanding like what it means when we say, hey, this test says X or it says Y, right? We have like a kind of common, understanding of what those things mean that are divorced in impactful ways from the actual meanings of those things, right? When people get a test that says, you have X, people understand that to mean that like I have X, I'm an X haver, right? When in reality, we can't actually say much more other than what has been said, right? Which is that there is a test that we performed that indicated, one of the 2 or 3 or 4 options, and we label that indication this, which then means that you might have what we understand to be X, right? And what my biggest disagreement is just with like how little we emphasize that kind of literacy with people, instead choosing to simply, like not tell people things or like it's just better if you don't tell them because like they'll misunderstand it, right? It's like a very sad solution to me, but it's like it's our current solution, right? And like I do understand why it's our current solution, but it is something that like that I would kind of specifically call attention to before.
We've had this discussion on this very topic multiple times. I'm in the school of thought that the strain specifically on the American medical system, wherever that is coming from, which is multiple places, is kind of the root cause of why you see this drop in that lack of training, lack of for pretty much everything, to now it's you're not treating a patient, you're treating a problem, and that's just how it is.
And a customer, often is the lens.
I don't think doctors themselves, like I don't disagree with that sentiment. I don't think doctors themselves see them as customers. Like the hospital does that, but I don't think the doctor does. But I don't think
it probably depends. I don't disagree. I do think that there's probably a lot of doctors that like definitely don't see it that way, but I do think it probably depends.
Yeah, I don't like. I have a lot of respect for most doctors because it's the amount of school and the things you have to go through and just like what you have to be willing to do that. But at the same time, like I'm gonna knock you for like not doing the right thing and like treating me as a patient and instead treating me as a symptom that needs to be solved, right? So, but I do think hospitals 100%. You're a customer. You're not a, you're here so that we can use your insurance to make money. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think there are certain doctors that are I've met horrible doctors. The doctor
Yeah.
that told my mother that she was just crazy because she was complaining about her migraines and it turned out she had a blood clot in her brain. Yeah, I wanted to punt that guy through the roof and then pile drive him down into the basement. Like I don't respect you for not listening, but I think on a generalized basis, I think that I will say that most doctors have good intentions, but the system strains them and doesn't prepare them in a way that allows them to do that. And then they just end up falling into these really bad habits because that's the way the system is designed to be. Okay. Can I get rid of this mod? Nah,
That
I'll keep
is
that.
genuinely the nearest oil, and it is at 32,000 yield. That's a little bit excessive.
Nah, that's fine. It's fine. Go halfway.
32,000% yield.
Go halfway around the world for oil. This sounds like just another day at the office.
Jesus Christ.
No. We don't deal with him anymore.
Are you sure? I think I think.
I am in love with the current state of that right now. I love it. I love it. There's nothing that makes me happier than seeing the President of the United States in a Twitter feud with the Pope.
It's certainly a time
'Cause
to be
it's-
alive. One of them. One of the times.
It's the first American Pope. He's fighting with the President. The dude's from Chicago. He's a White Sox fan.
Seabird over here dying.
It's so funny to me. The whole reason that they never wanted to make an American, the reason why they were always told we'd never have an American Pope is they were so worried that it would mean that the U.S. would have so much more influence over the world because then they would have, they could influence the Pope. And it's the exact opposite is what's happening.
And it's really funny, especially because, like, you see such a, we've been seeing such a, like, how to phrase it, I'll say it as factually as I can. A lot of Christianity injected into our military operations in the United States. It's fascinating because you would think that if ever there was a riskier time, surely there's not a riskier time, right, to have an American Pope, right? When America is leaning into religious warfare, right? But then for it to not actually consolidate power, but to in fact, result in whatever the fuck it is that's happening right now. It's really, I agree. It's very, very funny.
It's so from the inside, it's very I don't know how I feel. There are days where I'm just laughing my ass off. Like today, watching PD quote Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And as I put into Nuketown, because somebody shared a clip of it, it cut off the first part, right? Because the clip that shows is just it's from the book of Caesar, and I'm like, okay, well, all right. and then he says the quote, changes words to match this new scenario, our modern scenario, right? And has that cut. The problem is that it cuts off a few seconds before, at the start of the clip, where he admits that it's based on a verse from the book of Ezekiel, which makes it even worse because now he's openly admitting that it's not just a mistake, but that he openly knows that it's a quote from Pulp
He's like
Fiction.
using a bastardized version of like a religious text
so
to
he's
make
yeah.
politically motivated point.
So now he can't back out and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought like my PR got like somebody gave me the wrong, deal, or like I pulled it from somewhere. I'm sorry." Like, no, we can literally look and be like, "No, you absolutely knew." But it's like there's other days where I'm terrified because as a not like the military has always had a certain connection to religion because we have the chaplains and they are a very big cornerstone of how we operate. They're some of the only people that you can talk to about literally anything and you're not judged and they can't report you for stuff, right? Like if you do something, like if you got something really going on, you can talk to them and they're not going to report it, So they're a huge cornerstone of what we are. So it's important that we have that, but we're diving so far into this Christian ideology in how we operate. And it's fundamentally terrifying because my entire life that I was brought up to understand Christianity, that's not part of how it is. Fighting wars is not, as it was never taught to me, as like a Christian value. It's peace.
Because it's a political value.
Right. And so like watching the manipulation of good, solid Christianity turned into politicizing it in the way that it's being done, it makes me very sad because I'm not a Christian person. I'm not a faithful person, but I see what it does for some people, I understand the value.
Like, the thing with Christianity is that you have to understand it as an ever-changing product of its time, right? Like it has gone through many different and very contradictory at times eras. And this has been going on for like a very long time, right? I mean, because like certainly some of your recollection, of an earlier form of Christianity is one that accurately describes, like peace being much more central than war. But I encourage you to recall, of course, the Crusades, right, where it was the fundamental force for like an extreme amount of bloodshed, right? So like there's you'll have to forgive me, it's been a very long time since I interfaced with the material, but there's a historian that talks about like one of the reasons that Christianity has stayed culturally relevant for such a long period of time has to do with like its remixability, its ability to ultimately kind of be very, to kind of change into, these different products of their times, right? So that it can be like uniquely, kind of appealing to people that are, of the time, so to speak. A denomination that there's not one Christianity. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my. There's a really interesting paper trail from early to modern Christianity, going from pacifism to violence, sometimes being forgivable to violence, sometimes being righteous. Yeah, absolutely, Queen. So many denominations, it's not one Christianity. I'm opposed to organized religion on the whole, especially in an institutionalized state, but I do respect the value of religion at a conceptual level to give people hope and a place to belong. Yeah. It's been a very long time since I've interfaced the material. Thank you for the quote, Spock.
Sorry, I turned my speakers up so I could listen, but I walked away for a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, no, it's you're 100% right. Christianity is very much in this weird spot of like being adapting through the times and staying relevant as long as it has. And I also I agree as well, Ash. I do not like organized religion because I feel more often than not, I mean, I don't even feel it, I see it, that it becomes very corrupt and it becomes very wrong. And I also watch it and I can see how organized religion puts people into a position of power, and that often gets used for some very, very not great things. Like understanding when I explain it to people why I don't understand, why I argue that most Christians aren't actually anti-abortion, is because that was largely used as a propaganda piece to keep Christianity relevant in politics when they're no longer allowed to push segregation. It's very interesting when segregation was absolutely, taken off the board. They couldn't push it anymore. Christians lost a lot of power in government because they didn't have an issue to run on to keep Christianity like as relevant politically. And then after a lot of testing and going through the markets and seeing things, they found that abortion was an issue that if they pushed it politically, people would listen. And so they really started to ride onto that. And that's why you have the quote unquote pro-life movement that we see today. And it's blatantly, like, I know that this is true because the people that I talk to about it that will often say like, oh, I'm pro-life, but then you ask them about actual policies that would be pro-life and they're like, well, no, I don't want that. And I said, so you give them that your very basic life, right? They're not pro-life, they're anti-choice, right? That's exactly what it is. I said, you don't firmly believe that all life is actually sacred and should be taken care of, and all those things. You just don't like the idea of women having a choice because that's what the church has done to you, has told you. And because it's religion and it has that power to be able to influence like it does, people believe that on a larger scale, that it is and then they forget different Bible verses of things where there actually is a verse that talks about the fetus not being life but being property, specifically property of the father. But that is also a very older verse that never gets talked about, which there's so many of those that it's hard to keep track of. And when you start getting into the weeds of those,
also probably not a good basis for our legal decision making.
No, not at all.
Which
no,
I know you're not saying that, but just like to throw that in there additionally.
Yes, in case anybody thought I was big that. No. But it is. Yeah,
no, exactly.
That's correct. That is correct. Yes, it's also interesting in like the US, because we talk about, like, it's often pushed around that the US is was founded on what did Carolyn Levitt say, Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah.
No, that is absolutely not true.
I hate the phrase Judeo-Christian is really, really fascinating.
It's so dumb. But they believe that they push this idea that the founding fathers were this very vast, this group of individuals that were wildly religious, and they were, absolutely, full faith in God. And then you actually look back in history, it's like, absolutely not. One of the very first documents that the United States signed as a country was the Treaty of Tripoli. one of the first things that treaty says is that the United States is not a religious nation. It's like one of the first things that's said there. Thomas Jefferson, famously, his Bible has all of the miracles cut out of it. And Benjamin Franklin, very much against religion. A lot of the founding fathers were actually against, were not religious, or were actually against religion. And that's why they have the separation of church and state, was so that the church didn't become powerful. Now, that also comes back to because England kind of had a really bad history with the church kind of being the de facto power in the country. So they kind of knew that, and they're like, yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not recreate that issue.
Let's not have another King Henry VIII. Which is funny I love bringing that up to people, because I'm like, that's telling people like the reason why the Church of England like became a thing is because the Catholic Church wouldn't allow him to get a divorce, so he
It's very funny.
murdered his wife.
There's lots of.
So we are a nation of. We do have a majority of the population that identifies as Christian, but our nation was not founded on Christian ideology. That is a one of the very claims that the Christian conservative movement makes consistently, is that because a majority, I think it's like 60% say that they identify as Christian, that we are a Christian nation. That's just not true, right? That would be equivocally like saying that because a majority of the population of America is white, we're a white nation. And that's just that doesn't even feel good to roll off the tongue, right? So were a lot of the founding fathers Gnostic? Yeah, they were that. Same reason why white nationalists are also scared. Correct. That is correct. They are shrinking. The really shitty ideologists are very much shrinking. The problem we have going forward, as something I've kind of been looking a lot at, is both major political parties in the United States are fracturing, and not in a healthy way. MAGA, the Republicans are coming into this administration were basically just MAGA, and as time went on, it has splintered into not moderate conservative groups. They are splintering farther to the right, and the Democratic Party has been for a number of years now splintering farther off to the left. So we are seeing a fracturing of both parties, but neither one of them is going to. We're not going to see a new party get created out of this. We're not going to end up having like multitudes of other parties. They're just not going to agree on how to do policy, which sucks, because as everything points to a blue wave come the midterms this fall, which is great because take power away from the Republicans. You're going to have so many different ideologies on how to do stuff that they're not going to get a whole lot done. It's one of the things that was kind of crappy about the Biden administration, especially early on, was that they just couldn't agree on how they wanted to do the things. They all essentially like want to do the thing, but they can't agree on how to do it. So it scares me, because now the power vacuum is going to become so wild that I'm fearful that radical groups are going to be able to take control during that unrest. And gain a legitimate foothold in the political scene of the United States. God, I talked for a long time there. Holy shit. Also experienced that, but yeah. And I've seen we are talking about socialist Steffi. Because the moderate Democrats, so I don't know if anybody remembers this, but not a few months ago, there was a vote in Congress to denounce the evils of socialism. And yeah, there was quite a few Democrats that actually voted for that. It was not along party lines. So there are Democrats that are like, no, socialism is really, really bad. That is one of the harder lines of the Democratic Party right now is socialism, and whether we should use it or not. And newsflash, we use it a lot. We already use it a lot. And we should use it. We could use it more. We could use it sensibly more.
We could stand to use a lot of well understood political things more than we currently do.
The harder line is, are we going to continue pretending socialism doesn't exist? Yeah, that's really what it boils down to is I think as younger, and Etty and I have discussed this before, that one of the big issues is the age, the difference in the age. The older boomers still retaining that power.
They're so old.
Yep.
The oldest ruling generation in history, because medicine, yippee.
The great things that science did has doomed us all.
I mean, and it's interesting. This is one of those things. Whenever people talk about like in response, like this is gonna feel like left field, but trust me, I have a point here. GG.
GG.
Wait, what happened?
There was a release.
Oh.
GG's.
Like one of the solutions, quote unquote, to the Fermi paradox is like the great filter, and it's the idea that like before an intelligent civilization ever reaches a level where it could feasibly communicate with another intelligent civilization, it destroys itself. That like there's something fundamental about like kind of like societal organization that is just kind of like a self-defeating mechanism, right? And I think that this is like wrong. I don't think that this is an insightful kind of perspective, but I do think that it's interesting whenever things like this come up. In the sense that, like, there is this thing that is likely to happen to basically any intelligent civilization along its way, right? Which is that, like, there's bound to be a period of time where suddenly they start living longer because they're going to develop medicine. Like, that's just kind of an intrinsic, like, that's a convergent goal of being an intelligent species, right? Is eventually coming up with medicine so that you can, like, not die as much. And so you can imagine that there's always, for any intelligent species, there's going to be this period of time where suddenly all of their old people are living to get to be older, right? And you may or may not have ended up with power structures, that are ready to handle that. And I think, like, in our case, we're certainly seeing that there's a lot of things about our power structures that we did not anticipate, the consequences of technology's effects on well enough in advance, right?
No, that's 100% correct. That's just it sucks. It does, but I get like
I think the thing is that, like, there's no reason to believe that the Great Filter is the answer to the Fermi paradox because we haven't destroyed ourselves yet, right? And like I think that, like, the sorry, go ahead, Dwarf.
Oh no, I died.
Oh, okay.
I destroyed myself.
Destroyed. No!
I thought after all this time Dwarf was like gonna have some kind of interjection. And it was just like, no, I died.
You got raided.
Hello. Sorry, I muted for a second, but hello, Epic Rat and Raiders. For those coming in, I am Dwarfhoot, aka Dwarf, aka Ryan. You can refer to me however you wish. I hope that your witness was going well. I am playing the witness as part of an archipelago randomizer. I'm actually going to be wrapping up soon because I have to get up early in the morning. In a voice call with other people that are in this archipelago run, part of Async or Swim. It's very fun. But if you were ending your stream because you gotta go do stuff, don't feel any obligation to stay. To anyone that does want to stay, there's just all kinds of conversation stuff going on right now, and I'm just kind of vibing and working on some puzzles. But thanks for coming in. Yeah, hope you have a wonderful day.
I made that emote like last night, like impromptu. This Dwarf actually showed me the not an otter emote that they made for me for 7TV, and then I was just like, oh wait, I have this emote with a sign that's just blank. I specifically ordered it so I could like do this impromptu thing whenever I wanted. This is the perfect time to bring it out. What's up, puppy?
The sign emo so good.
I love it. It might be my best work. Oh, what color hair? Does the hair color change the tail color? It does.
I like that question, just like with no
Why wouldn't
context.
it?
I've had more time to meditate. Your sign shouldn't say nodder. It should say autumn.
Oh no! Shoot!
I think that means Seaburn agrees.
No, my
I agree.
OBS crashed.
No!
Oh no! Oh no, the share chat is dead.
I know,
No.
that's why I was like, crap.
Here, I will, well, no, I guess you're still the host, technically.
Yeah,
But
I
you
can
have to
bring
be
it back up.
live. Yeah.
Rat, were you doing your first playthrough of The Witness?
Elish, that's just a lie and you know it.
What kind of witness were you up to?
Is my PC just gonna crash here?
Oh no.
Yep. My OBS is now just like throwing a fit. This is disappointing.
Hi, beavers.
Yeah, my OBS just like I open it, I don't even go live. It just crashes right away.
Oh no.
Oof. there still like a stray process running? Like, because if it crashes the first time, it may not have closed like a sub process.
Yeah.
You reach the ending for the first time. Let's go, GG.
Nice.
Yeah, I would. As a person that loves The Witness, I think there's a lot of issues with the game, but love the game. I do. I think if you are enjoying it, like, stick with it to like finish the stuff you still have to do, and then I have 2 recommendations. One, Taiji, a game called Taiji. If you've never heard of it. Taiji, which is like a spiritual sequel to The Witness, made by another person, but very, very good game. But also the randomizers for The Witness are very good. There's a bunch of different ones. If you want more difficult puzzles and you want like a kind of really fun second quest, I would say New Game Plus, but I think technically second quest is what would be the term. There's like an expert release. Nice, another release, very good. But there's like an expert randomizer. It's called Sigma Expert that does a lot of things. It is very difficult. You might want to do like a regular randomizer run first, but the expert randomizer does a lot of interesting things. It's just, if you're not already familiar with the difficulty increase just by going to the regular randomizer, then the expert one would be a lot. And then the Archipelago versions of the randomizers add more like interesting things, because you can do multi-world, and it makes knowledge things into literal like lock and key mechanics, which is kind of fun. What I'm doing right now is called Umbra randomizer, which Umbra is a person that made a fusion of the expert and the regular randomizers because they wanted to bring more symbol map mixing. So it's considered like a medium difficulty ones. I'm kind of smooth brain, so it's kind of a big difficulty for me, but that's okay. Yeah, the expert one is very difficult. It is like more difficult than what like I would do. I've watched some people play it, and I enjoyed that.
As you sit there doing it. Well, no, I guess Umbra is an expert.
Yeah, no, Umbra is a step below it.
Yeah.
Umbra basically brings some of the kind of mechanics into the regular one without like the symbol mixing, without the difficulty increase that expert adds. The big thing is, I don't think expert is actually interesting for Archipelago at all. I think expert is interesting if you do the actual original expert, because they very specifically like it is very much designed as like a second playthrough kind of thing.
That's cool.
It makes you rethink about things the way your original playthrough did, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't think expert's interesting in multi-world. I think Umbra is interesting because it's like, again, it's a bump up in difficulty without being like bad. If Archipelago ever adds like more the areas that aren't randomized, because I think expert actually has stuff to do in those areas too, which is interesting, but that's not Archipelago. But yeah, Rat, if you just want more fun puzzle stuff and you're not interested in like difficulty bumps, then Taiji, very, very good game. Honestly, I like Taiji more than The Witness, but I never recommend it to people until after they've played The Witness, because it's
Got some cube oil.
It's better to go from the witness to Taiji, and Taiji
Than
has
the
an
other way
expectation.
around.
Yeah. Going from Taiji to the witness is rough. Going from the witness to Taiji is great, and like Taiji does start at a harder difficulty because it expects that you played the witness. It very much expects that you were looking for another witness game. Oh my god. I might have hit that point where I'm too
Your
sleepy
brain
brained
has
to
gotten too smooth.
well these puzzles you have to focus on two things at once. And
Yeah.
I keep not focused. Like I keep doing it well for a moment and then I instantly slip up and stop paying attention to my other half here. And then just I'm like, what am I doing? Hold on, none of this was legal. This was all illegal movement. No, we can't do that. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Oh. Oh. Wait, this might end up being okay. Wait a moment. Maybe I was trying to wrinkle the... Yeah! We just needed to smooth our brain more. Oh my god. It was...
Just gotta smooth the brain out a little bit more.
Yeah. I have to get ready for bed. Alright. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Thanks for coming in.
I think we need to start the stream together again by
Oh,
the
yeah.
So I'll go around knocking on doors. I'm knocking.
Knocking on a door. Let me accept, damn you. What happens if I click preview? Does preview let me accept? No, let me accept though. What do you mean something went wrong? Let me accept it.
It didn't actually pop open a tab for me, so that's probably what it means that something went wrong.
Okay, I'm knocking on your door.
Okay, I accepted. I still don't have the tab for it though, for some reason. Okay, now I have the tab.
Ah, we've been knocked.
Get knocked on. Gonna knock on Beavers' door. Something went wrong. Just kidding. I'm not gonna knock on the Beavers' door.
I miss beavers.
I miss Beavers too.
I hope that whatever call came up for beavers is okay. I know he was talking to someone yesterday. I don't know if it's the same person or different call.
I don't know.
I figure it can't be like terrible news call because if it was terrible news call, he wouldn't have kept playing Borderlands.
Yeah, he wouldn't still be streaming.
Yeah, or at least not still playing the game because he was still actively playing.
Deadly, I clicked accept. I'm not sure if it worked though.
I went to Dwarf tab and it let me knock, and then I went back to yours and it said join, and I'm like, okay, it did a thing. It did the pop out thing.
Dwarf, also, you need to start share chat because you knocked on my door.
You so right. I forgot. I thought you knocked. I mean, you did knock first. It just didn't work.
Right.
Right.
There was a good reason why you thought I did.
Am I just gonna be stuck in the perpetual joining? Is this just...
Wait, okay, why are you two sharing chat and I'm not sharing? Wait, hold on. Why? Wait,
why does it show
joining.
beavers?
Wait, what?
Why does it say Etty canceled? Etty, get back in here. I'm with beavers. It's just me and beavers now.
I haven't been invited to this collaboration, evidently.
But wait, does that mean beavers is back?
Check back later.
No.
All right, I've knocked on Beavers' door, and for some reason that's working. I'm waiting for host. How did Beavers manage to hijack the whole thing?
That's the beavers way.
It's so funny.
Why does it say the stream together has ended? I clicked join on Beavers.
Wait.
What the heck?
Oh no.
Deadly, come knock again.
Okay.
He's just quiet.
No. Requested?
What? Beavers, are you
Request.
back?
I'm keeping request.
I'm gonna try sending you an invite, see if that works.
Okay.
Invite has been
Yes.
sent.
Join. There we go. Okay.
Let's go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Burn. Welcome back. I hope your computer is not imploding anymore.
Yeah.
Join.
No, it's fine. I'm just sad.
Don't be. I'm sending you an invite right now.
I'm not
Join.
gonna stream anymore. I'm done.
Okie dokie. If you want, you can still join the stream together in your name, sure.
Yeah.
I still don't see that Deadly managed to make it in.
Yeah, Deadly has not somehow.
Okay, it asked for me to join the call and it showed Etty Beavers to work. And I said yes, I will. And then
So
Okay.
it works best when I set it up.
So
Alright.
if you go to your notifications and it says Etiminum wants to collaborate. Did that? Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're in the share
There we
share
go.
chat now.
okay. I specifically have to only accepts it if I go through the notifications, which could take up to like 20 minutes. This is insane, Twitch. Insane.
Twitch over here like, but it did work. Like, Twitch, no, Twitch, bad.
Bad Twitch.
That is definitely going to be one of my next emotes I want to commission is a
Warp
sport.
didn't close the room. I did.
So, Beavers, are you back, but you're not talking right now? Is this why the text talking is happening?
You hate us, Beavers. Be honest. It's
Okay.
okay. You can be honest with us.
Phoenix, I
The
sent the
reason-
piece. I sent the hinted piece.
Beavers, if you start talking to us again, my nose will stop bleeding.
That's convenient. How does that work?
It doesn't. It's terrible.
Oh no.
I don't actually know if Phoenix can hear. I just kind of assume Phoenix can hear.
You mean you like nosebleeds? What? That is a
Yeah,
wild.
what the fuck does that mean?
That is a
They help
wild
clean
thing.
my sinuses.
So one time,
How-
when I was in 2nd grade, I sneezed and burst a blood vessel in my nose.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
And it turns out that's a terrible thing to do. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it like first of all, it was during like a reading circle time, and like I didn't realize what
I
happened
can't
at
do this.
first,
I-
and then someone sitting next to me started screaming.
I can't do it. Nope.
Because like my textbook, I looked down and like there's just blood everywhere, just a massive amount of blood. And then for about a month, I had to be really careful because if I so much as wrinkled my nose wrong, I would get a nosebleed.
Oh, God.
Because like the vessel, like again, it was just like a surface level like in my nose, but it was just like a blood vessel. And it was just so rough because it was so easy. Like again, this is 2nd grade. I'm dumb kid thing. Like
It's so
Yeah.
easy to
Like-
pick your nose when you're that age.
well, like it's just like anything. Like I instantly would forget that I can't like do things like, and it would be itchy because it's a healing thing. And like kid brain is just not very self-controlled. So it's like nose itches, rub nose. Oh yeah, not supposed to do that. Suddenly there's blood everywhere again. Like that. It was just.
The
It
way
was.
that you remember is by the consequences of your actions rather than foresight.
Yes, exactly. And so like I just that. It took about a month for it to stop doing that, and it probably would have healed sooner if it wasn't for me constantly aggravating it again, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was not during Halloween. It was during like spring. I only think it was spring. I actually don't 100% remember. I think it's spring because, honestly, the thing I remember most about it was the reading circle, and I feel like there was sun in my eyes. I feel like that's why I didn't notice it first. Like everyone else noticed before I did, because like I was sitting in a spot where I actually like was being kind of blinded to begin with.
I don't know why something about like specifically remembering that there was sun in your eyes is very funny to me.
Nosebleed.
It's just like the sun was in my eyes and then my nose was bleeding. And...
Elish, please.
I wasn't prepared.
When your sun hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a nosebleed. When the blood hits your book and you're feeling real shook, that's a nosebleed. Anytime, Elish. I'm running around in circles right now, but that's probably because like I'm actually sleepy, and I'm like, what do I want to work on? I'm like, I don't actually want to work on a puzzle. I kind of think I should probably wrap up. But I needed to get
Can't
Phoenix
wrap
that
up.
piece, and we got Phoenix
I
the
haven't-
piece.
I haven't even done any checks yet, Dwarf. You can't be wrapping up yet.
I
Etty.
can't wait for Dwarf to just break the room again. This would be incredible.
Etty.
Fuck, Dwarf is the host now. No!
Wait, I thought you were the. No, it didn't work. You didn't end up.
Yeah, you're I was gonna knock. I'm gonna go knock on your door, which means you're the host. You know,
No, wait, wait, we do think it maybe migrated over to Beavers somehow.
No.
No, I definitely clicked start chat. I just forgot. Why
Have you
can't I
not done any
give somebody
checks
the
yet?
power? Hold on.
Ema, there's a lot of infrastructure involved with doing checks in this game, okay?
This is why I told you, Dwarf. You should just break the room again. It'd be really funny. And then you give it to me, and then I make the room, then I break the room, and then it'd just be really funny at that point. You know?
Also,
Three
my
room
ads are
break?
just about to roll. Everybody get up, get a snack, get a beverage, stretch your legs, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Or go over to any of the other wonderful streams that we have going on. Beavers, Dwarf, Deadly. Check out all of their gaming that they're
Not
doing.
Dwarf.
And I will see you all back here in just a couple of minutes.
Don't go to
Thanks for
Dwarfs.
hanging out.
Oh,
Go to Dwarf. Go to Dwarf
Don't do it.
specifically.
Yeah,
Go to
Specifically
Dwarf. Go to Dwarf. Dwarf is the one that actually I specifically endorse now. You should go to Dwarf.
I'm like determined to try and find a way to make somebody else the head of this.
There we go. Go sleep. That is the plan.
Yep. Yep.
Son of a bitch. Thank you for reminding me I'm a dehydrated bitch. Appreciate it.
There's so many settings for Stream Together that I've never seen anyone make use of because I've never actually seen anyone using like the video settings for it. And yet none of these settings are give someone else host responsibility.
I think my computer might just have a problem.
I mean, Seaburn, it's a piece of sand that we tricked into thinking. Of course it's going to have a problem.
I didn't trick it into anything. It's submitted willingly.
It does not have a will.
In the north
We
right
gave it
corner
will.
of the box, dwarf, apparently there's like a red symbol there. If you click on that, I heard that fixes a couple things they're having issues with.
The red symbol? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that one? Do you think it's working yet?
Yeah, do you guys need me to like go
Looks like it
live
worked.
again
Yeah.
so I can fix the
Thank
thing?
you.
Well, I clicked the button. So Beavers found a button that's supposed to fix it. So I clicked the
so
button.
you pushed the button that Beavers told you to push.
Yeah, no, Beavers told me it was going to fix it.
Now I'm gonna go over here. I can't knock.
Oh.
Has been knocked upon.
Thank you for
Okay,
knocking
we're going to
me
go
out.
raid Beavers.
Dwarf, your door has been knocked upon.
Oh, thank you.
Deadly, your door is.
All right, we're
soon
going
to be
now. Let's
knocked
go.
upon. Your door is knocked upon. Wait, hold on. You can only have one active collab request for channels that favorited you. Are you sure you want to